All right, this is the place.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Oh, alright, let's see what happens then. Shiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Shiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know.
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevreuse, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Shiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vacher has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market. Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm Chevreuse. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevreuse. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevreuse's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that.
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain. He'd better.
So what did you want to tell us, Chevreuse?
Have you read The Two Musketeers? The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevreuse?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were for other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions. Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving Muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want people to see Muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler? Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired, too. We've really been hustling all day.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.